In the previous video, we talked about creating a template, creating folders, creating a form, and then using the information from that form to build a roster. We left off on step 6 of setting up the Doctopus, where it will allow us to send a merged document to our students. So if you've not yet done that, please go back and watch the previous video. But from there, step 6 is basically giving us the green light to create new student resources. Right here it says 2 new student resources. That's because I have 2 students in my new roster tab. So you need to make sure that you have the right number of students that are modeled here. I'm going to, once I've confirmed that, go ahead and click on Run, Copy, and Share. And these cells here are going to start getting populated. It'll give us a key, it'll give us a file name, and it'll also give us a link there. You'll see what is helpful about that later. So now that I've finished, so it's all jobs completed, I'm going to close out of Doctopus. Then, up in the top left, I'm going to click on the folder here for my drive, and I'm going to create a new Google form. The first form was to collect student information. The second form is the one that you're going to use as the journal entry management the entire school year, or as however long you want to use this. I've got journal prompts, and my first question is going to be the student roster, and the second, and this is going to be a multiple choice question. And the second question is going to be a short answer, and I'm going to name this journal prompt. A very simple form, 2 questions or 2 fields, roster, journal prompt. Next up, in the add-ons, I'm going to install, if I've not yet installed the add-on, so you wouldn't see this puzzle piece here, you click on the 3 dots, click on add-ons, and you can install DocAppender. Once you've done that, you'll click on the puzzle piece and click on DocAppender. Open the sidebar. And we're going to pick from Drive the folder that we are going to use for our roster. They're in here. Because remember, we use Doctopus to look or to create files and put them into student journals, which is also in the previous video. So I'll select that folder and we'll click Next. The question doesn't show up yet. Let me refresh the list there. There we go. So roster is the one that I want to populate. So this is what it's going to do. It's going to look in that student folders or student journals folder, and it's going to create a question, or rather create a field for every file that is in that folder. And the big one here is we want to make sure that we include all of the above as an option. Save and populate selected question. And notice what just happened here. I've got both of my students in the class now as an option on that roster. And if I look back here in the student journals, here are the 2 students within that folder. And they're both available here as well. So I've got that all of the above. You're rarely, if ever, going to select an individual student, but most of the time it will be all of the above. Once I've got my roster in there, I'll click on Next. And I get to choose what information I want to be sent to students every time I hit Submit. I'm going to choose the timestamp and the journal prompt. That way they know exactly what date and time the prompt was sent out and what the prompt for the day will be. Step 4 is giving you the option of how you're going to format it. I would strongly encourage you to keep it as separate bulleted list, and then click Enable. Believe it or not, we are almost done. So I've closed out of DocAppender, but it's going to be running in the background. Now, just for fun, I'm going to open up the template for me. I've got my running journal here, nice and blank. If I click on the preview, this is going to be the link that I keep on my desktop. I'm going to bookmark this, I'm going to save this, and just make sure that I have it available at all times. Because I'm going to select all of the above, and hit submit. If I go back here, look what just happened. I have a new journal prompt and a timestamp that showed up. If I go back in and another day, I submit another response. I hit submit, go back in, and within seconds, I have another prompt. You now have a way to send information to students in a daily manner, going through how to set this up from step one all the way through the reflective process. If at any point you have any questions, please feel free to let us know. You can email us at techcoach@cjuhsd.net. You can also find us on Twitter at cjuhsdtech. Hopefully this helps. Sorry for the length on it, but hopefully it was worth it.